Well, he got into a scrap early. I think he was, that stems from the last time we played him, and that probably gave him a little bit of juice. Obviously, went well for him, and from there, I thought the type of game we need to play tonight, is try to. They got some younger D that can move the puck, so if you play behind them, their gaps were good. Force them to go back and break out pucks. You could get some back, and they were the one line, I think, for probably the first period and a half that was consistently doing that. So they got rewarded for it. He typically will go to the net, Fluto, so the first goal, he's been there a lot, finally got one to go his way. Then all of a sudden they're making a few plays off the rush, because they've done things right to back their D off before that. So it was our best line tonight, and good for Nick. It's been working hard in his game, especially the last 2 weeks. He's stayed relatively healthy, so maybe this will give him a little juice.
He's been captain. He's played a major role before. What has it been like to try and contain him to perhaps a little bit narrower function?
Yeah, listen, it's always a challenge with veteran guys, especially. I think he's approaching 1,000 games to get them to buy into. In fairness, we tried him up in the lineup. We put him in the power play net front. We just found where other people. I think some of it was when he got hurt. Taylor Hall kind of took over there, and we've used Coyle, but. And then looking at his game more recently, I thought he'd be better suited on left wing. I just thought playing right wing, pucks around the walls in the neutral zone. He was getting a lot of stuff on his backhand, and some guys can play their off wing. They can separate with that first step, so they can get away with it in today's game, especially the way teams reload. So I just thought he'd be better on the left. He's making better plays while he's protecting the puck using his body from that side. So I think that's helped him as well.
The team had been really stout in the first period during this winning streak. What didn't work tonight that allowed Anaheim to get the 3?
Well, listen, they're haven't won in a while. They're ready to go. They probably see the score the night before. It gets their attention. Typically, back-to-backs, we've been fine, but the first period's usually the period you got to get through. And to be perfectly honest, it's 1-1 with a few minutes to go. It looked like we were going to get through it, even though we weren't at our best. We gave up a few early, and then we just had some bad breakdowns. We just didn't manage pucks, didn't protect the front of our net. All of a sudden, it's 3-1, and some of it was in the O-zone. Even at the last goal, we turned a puck over. We tried to make a play in the O-zone that wasn't there, and then turned it over in the D-zone. So certainly a few guys that had a tougher time, and that's what happened early on.
Was it a question of getting a little more physical, maybe in the second period, playing a harder game?
Yeah, we're not happy with the first period. You get their attention, how we need to play, how we feel we can be successful. We don't see Anaheim that much, so it's more about us and our game, what we had to get back to. It couldn't let the game get away from us, and so we're not a type of team that's going to just go open the floodgates and say, hey, maybe we win at 7-6. And if that happens every once in a while, great. But it's more about, okay, let's get back to our game, chip away, and maybe we find a way to get the next one, and we did. It was through a screen, and now all of a sudden you're back in the game. So disappointing finish, obviously, but we did at least get our game. But the positive of this is we found a way to get back in the game. Some of these games have gone 6-7-1 against us this year, and this was one good thing as we, in the middle of a road trip or maybe fatigue could have set in, we found another gear.
Can you sense it all? It's like, we're on it back to back. There might be some fatigue, even though you have been good back to back.
I don't like to talk about that, to be honest with you. These guys are well-conditioned athletes, and the trip over last night was pretty easy. So, of course, there's going to be it. It's 4 and 6 now, and in different cities and on the move. But like I said, we're teams go through it all the time in this league, and we don't like to focus on that part of it. It's like, listen, you got to play the game in front of the team, in front of the schedule in front of you. If you feel you're a little bit fatigued, then simplify your game. Don't try to complicate it where you need your legs to get you out of trouble. Well, we weren't great in front of him early, and then he made some saves. The last one, obviously, you need a save. You just have to get it, or a block in the PK if you expect to get a point out of the game. That's unfortunate. We didn't win the draw, so that something's going to get to the net. It found a way in. A good player with a good shot. Like I said, we didn't stack it up well enough, and at the end of the day, I thought he played fine. I thought he moved the puck really well. He helped us transition in the third, made some quick ups and led to a goal by getting one up in a hurry. So that part of his game was excellent. You know, and again, made a save with about a minute left, you know, had a bad turnover. And so he's doing his part.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.